Now let us consider power relations for induction motor by keeping reference to phasor diagram. The input to motor is shown by first equation on the slide. This equation is a product of phase voltage V1, current drawn by phase I1 and power factor of stator side. Product of these three terms is active power drawn by each phase. We have to consider how this power divides itself into various losses and power supplied from stator to rotor in the form of magnetic field. Voltage V1 on phasor diagram could be resolved into three components. These three components are shown in next equation on slide. These three components are stator resistance drop, stator leakage reactance drop, and remaining voltage that is equal and opposite to stator induced EMF. Similarly, current I1 may be resolved into three components that could be seen on phasor diagram. First is a magnetizing component of no load current Im, second is a loss component of no load current IL, and last component is a rotor current referred to stator side, that is I2 dash. Product of these three components that account for losses are stator copper losses and core losses. The important product component, that is power transferred from stator to rotor in the form of magnetic energy, is Pm. We have considered same equation in our previous lecture as a P0. Reasons shall be clear in our discussion. The only power loss component that appears on phasor diagram apart from loss components accounted so far is rotor copper losses. If we deduct rotor copper losses component from magnetic power, then we get mechanical power. If we observe the expression for Pm, then we see that expression is very close to rotor copper losses. Only we have to replace E1 by S times E1. Further, since value of slip S lie between 0 and 1, S part of magnetic power is rotor copper losses and remaining 1 minus S part is mechanical power output. For getting mechanical torque, we have to divide the mechanical power expression by speed of motor. Instead of directly dividing mechanical power output by rotor speed, we may divide by rotor speed expressed in terms of synchronous speed and slip. This equation of synchronous speed and rotor slip through slip is written below. In this way, expression for torque could be written as a ratio of above two equations. The torque equation is in simplified form is written below. The output equation in simplified form that we have discussed before is also written below. Both equations for torque and output are simplified form from same original equation. Further, output equation has a constant part and variable part. Variable part with respect to speed or slip. The constant part may be modified depending upon whether turns ratio between stator and rotor phase turns is 1 or other than 1. And secondly, it may be modified for value of ns synchronous speed. Both turns ratio A and synchronous speed ns are constants for any load. We could conclude from this analysis that with changing constant factor, we will only scale up or scale down the torque or output, but characteristics curves will remain same. If we decide to consider torque in synchronous watts, then parameter ns in denominator may be ignored. Otherwise, unit of torque is in Newton meters. Before we continue with the discussion on torque slip characteristics of three-phase induction motor, we will summarize the division of input power into various parts. Consider that motor is running under full load condition at 80% efficiency. This means from total input electrical power, 20% power is lost at full load in various losses. These losses are shown in various colors. Stator copper losses are 6.5%, rotor copper losses are 5.5%, core losses are 5%, and mechanical losses are 3%. We should note one feature that we have arrived at torque equation and output equation from same original expression of magnetic power. Now let us consider a sample case of 5 horsepower motor. This motor shall be supplied with 440 volts, 3-phase, 50 cycles AC supply. This motor is considered to be performing at 80% efficiency and 0.8 power factor. We will consider division of power in the same percentage as shown in color diagram. Accordingly, various losses are shown below the specification of motor. Specification of motor that we are considering is written in blue box. Various losses that we have calculated are stator copper losses 303 watts at 6.5%, rotor copper losses 256.5% at 5.5%, core losses are 233 watts at 5%, and mechanical losses 140 watts at 3%. If we deduct all these losses from total input power, then we get output power, that is 5 horsepower or 3.73 kilowatts. Now by having this basis of power distribution, we may apply output equation, that is in terms of slip and alpha, that is R2 upon X2. Then we can find out characteristics curve of output versus slip. This characteristics curve is shown on slide x-axis on slide. X-axis holds slip and y-axis holds output of the motor. The operating point moves from slip equals 1 to slip equals very close to 0. As motor starts at slip equal to 1, it has a starting torque. Then depending upon the applied output, we will output will be between no load position to full load position. Pull out torque is the maximum torque that motor offers. Note that various values of torques shown on the graph should not be linked with y-axis scale, since y-axis is an output scale.